In a world where digital transactions are the norm, the security of financial institutions is considered impenetrable. Yet, in February 2016, the unthinkable happened. The Bangladesh Bank Heist, a cyber attack so sophisticated, it almost succeeded in siphoning off nearly $1 billion from the Central Bank of Bangladesh. This is the story of deception, intrigue, and a glaring vulnerability that shook the world's financial framework. It was a seemingly ordinary weekend in Dhaka. The bustling city streets were quiet as the Bangladesh Bank closed for the weekend. Little did anyone know, within the digital walls of the bank, a heist of unprecedented scale was unfolding. The hackers, armed with sophisticated malware, had already laid the groundwork for what would be a historic theft. The malware, which had been discreetly installed, allowed the perpetrators to study the bank's operations. They observed the intricate workings of international fund transfers, patiently waiting for the opportune moment to strike. With the bank's credentials for swift transactions in hand, they initiated their plan. On that fateful weekend, 35 fraudulent instructions were sent through the SWIFT network. These instructions directed the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to transfer vast sums from Bangladesh Bank's account to various entities across the globe. The meticulous execution of these instructions was almost flawless, save for one critical oversight that would later unravel their operation. As the digital heist progressed, 5 transactions successfully diverted $101 million to accounts in the Philippines and Sri Lanka. The hackers' precision was evident, but a simple spelling error in one of the instructions raised suspicions, leading to the blockage of the remaining transactions. The Bangladesh Bank Heist was not just a theft of money, it was a theft of trust in the global banking system. It exposed the fragility of an institution thought to be unassailable and marked the beginning of a new era in cybercrime. The digital dust had barely settled when the Bangladesh Bank Heist investigation swung into full gear. The world watched as the Bangladesh Bank, with the help of international agencies, delved into the cyber abyss to track down the perpetrators. The investigation revealed a complex network of financial transactions that spanned continents and exposed the underbelly of the global banking system. The malware that had infiltrated the bank's system was sophisticated, designed not only to facilitate the fraudulent transactions, but also to cover the hackers' digital tracks. It was a race against time to follow the money trail before it vanished into the ether. The hackers had exploited the SWIFT network, a trusted and ubiquitous system used for international financial communication, turning it into their conduit for grand larceny. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this was no ordinary group of cyber criminals. The attack was highly coordinated, leveraging insider knowledge and weaknesses in the bank's security protocols. The suspicion of insider involvement loomed large, casting a shadow over the integrity of the institution. The heist had been a year in the making, with the attackers laying the groundwork long before the actual theft. They had patiently studied the bank's operations, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when they did, it was with a precision that almost guaranteed success. The investigation's findings were a sobering reminder of the fragility of cybersecurity. It was a wake-up call to financial institutions worldwide that no one is immune to the threat of cybercrime. The Bangladesh Bank Heist was not just a theft, it was a message to the world that the security of our financial systems is only as strong as its weakest link. The Bangladesh Bank Heist had successfully breached the seemingly impenetrable fortress of global finance, and now the chase was on. The world's financial detectives were on the trail of the stolen millions, a journey that would lead them through a labyrinth of shadowy figures and clandestine operations. The investigation revealed that the money had been funneled into the Philippines casino industry, a sector with lax regulations and a high degree of anonymity for its patrons. The stolen funds were split into smaller amounts and deposited into various accounts, making the task of tracking the money even more daunting. The Philippines became the focal point of the recovery efforts. Authorities there scrambled to trace the funds, which had been dispersed across the country's casino landscape. The trail led them to a series of high-stakes gambling tables where the money was laundered through the chips and bets of an underground network. The heist's masterminds had chosen their laundering venues wisely, exploiting the gaps in the Philippines' anti-money laundering laws. Casinos were not covered by these regulations at the time, providing a perfect cover for the illicit flow of funds. The stolen money was converted into gaming chips played at the tables and then cashed out as winnings, effectively erasing the money's criminal origins. Despite the challenges, the authorities managed to claw back a portion of the stolen funds. However, a significant amount remained out of reach, absorbed into the vast expanse of the global gambling market. The Bangladesh Bank Heist had exposed the vulnerabilities of the financial system, but it had also highlighted the resilience and determination of those tasked with safeguarding it. As the chase continued, the world watched and waited. Would the remaining funds be recovered, or had the hackers' gamble paid off? The answers lay ahead in the murky depths of the international banking system. As the pursuit of the stolen millions from the Bangladesh Bank Heist continued, a revelation emerged that would shock the financial world. The investigation had peeled back layers of cyber deception to reveal the true architects of the heist, a state-sponsored hacking group known as Lazarus. The Lazarus Group, believed to be operating under the North Korean regime, had orchestrated the heist with military precision. Their digital fingerprints were all over the cyber attack, from the initial infiltration to the complex web of money laundering that followed. The hackers had exploited the SWIFT network's vulnerabilities, a system that connects thousands of banks worldwide. They had bypassed security protocols, deceived monitoring systems, and manipulated the bank's operations from within. It was a stark reminder that in the cyber world, even the most secure institutions are at risk. The Bangladesh Bank Heist was not just a tale of theft, but a sobering lesson in cybersecurity. It underscored the need for constant vigilance and advanced protective measures in the financial sector. The heist had laid bare the reality that in the interconnected world of global finance, a cyber attack on one is an attack on all. As the story of the Bangladesh Bank Heist concludes, the stolen funds remain a testament to the audacity of the crime. The heist will forever be etched in history as a turning point, a moment that changed the course of cybersecurity and banking forever. It is a story that continues to provoke thought and drive action, a narrative that reminds us of the ever-present battle between the guardians of financial security and the shadowy figures who seek to undermine it.